Hello everyone, I am Alphabird. The dog's in the background. He's going to be a constant annoyance throughout, I'm sure. Trying to chip in when he can. So just be aware of that. Also, before we start and get into this game, I want to have a very brief chat about the channel. This is probably going to be the last match that I'm going to cast of Steel Division 2 or for this channel. Yeah, it's going to be the last one you're going to see on the channel for, I would expect, possibly forever, unless something drastic changes in my mindset. If Eugene release a new game, I'm sure I'll check it out, although even that I'm not 100% sure. I'm finding at the moment that, I have suffered some mental health issues. I don't want to go into great depth, but I am still struggling from things that have happened in the past, and over the last few months things have got really difficult for me. I just at the moment dread loading up a new cast. I just don't want to do it. I have no motivation to cast these games, and it took me several weeks to get this one actually casted. I did want to finish off the Steel Division League Season 6, so we have got a final match of the league, and I'll introduce it in a moment. I am playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov. I am still producing videos for Escape from Tarkov. That has taken over from Steel Division 2 as my kind of love. It's the sole game that I play right now. So I will still be producing some videos for my other channel, but because I have the motivation to do that, it's something enjoyable for me, and that's what the difference is now with Steel Division 2. I don't have the motivation to play Steel Division 2 or to watch and cast Steel Division 2 games. It's just not an enjoyable process for me. Hopefully that's given you a bit of an understanding of what's been happening and why I haven't really been around much. I will probably have cut this in post-editing to make it flow a lot better, so hopefully it sounds alright, doesn't interrupt your enjoyment of the game. I want to thank everybody that's been watching the videos. I want to especially thank those that have supported me monetarily through YouTube channel memberships and some Twitch subscribers as well. I really appreciate you guys. You kept me going a hell of a lot when I could have given this up a long time ago. So Nightmare 13, Gilbot, Dill, Lolly, Proxy, Rooster, Xeroxis 97, who else have we got? Kurzan, don't think I've mentioned you, DJ, Thiemann. If I've missed anyone out, I apologise. I don't actually have a list of names up in front of me, so I'm kind of just looking who's remaining on my Discord. So if Rooster, if I've not mentioned you, if I missed you out, I am really sorry, but I do appreciate everyone, and I know I've been chatting to you all as well, so I know that you know that as well. Right, a slightly deflated introduction, but let's get on with the game in hand, and let's make this a good final game. So the game I have for you today is Nilla versus WW2. Steel Division League Season 6 Division 1. This is the final of Division 1. It was played quite a long while ago now, so a lot of the hardcore Steel Division 2 League fans will have already seen this and know the results. But I'm only going to we're only going to cast this one game from the final. So this is it. It was a best of 5, but we're only going to cast this singular one game because honestly, me being motivated to cast games, it was hard enough just to get this game in front of my screen. So there's no way I'm going to be able to cast the whole series of games. And also, apologies to WW2 now as well. He beat Gonzo in the semi-final. I cast all the other quarterfinals and semi-finals, but I didn't cast WW2's game against Gonzo. So apologies to WW2, but full props to him. He won a good series against Gonzo in the semi-final. So he's going into this with a good victory in hand, and Nilla went through against Vestali. So also apologies for Nilla. I actually showed a match where Vestali beat Nilla, and usually I only show the ones where the winner is the winner of that series of matches. So Nilla actually beat Vestali as well in his best of 3 series, I think, for the semi-finals. So the actual final we have is Nilla versus WW2. I'm butchering this game already. It's way too long an intro, but I apologise. Right, let's get into the decks. If I can work my screen, because it's been so long since I did something that I can't even remember all the buttons. So up on screen now, we've got Nilla's deck. He's playing the first Blindata Romanian mare. Hopefully not going to have a mare today. Maverick income. Both players on Maverick income. We've got a well-rounded deck for a Maverick income, I feel like. Nilla always favours cheap units early, and we don't see any kind of exceptions with those Venatori Moto at 20 points apiece. I'm looking at a very small screen of the deck here, so oops. Right. Yeah, those 20-point squads of Venatori Moto, I expect he's going to use all of those in A phase. He's got more in B phase as well, as you see, and I think he's chosen this deck. My imagination is he's chosen this division for those 20-point Venatori Moto infantry units. I reckon that's why he's chosen this deck, because they're really cheap. You can get loads of them out. The IAR 81M, 85-point bomber there. I think that's a pretty decent bomber if you can keep it alive. It isn't exactly the most resilient, but at 85 points for 3 of them, you get a lot of those for quite a cheap value. We also have the Ju-87 D5s in A phase as well. That's going to be his cluster bomber, so look out for that, taking out those enemy tanks. And he's got some, well, decent AA in B phase, I would say, with the SDKF Z71s. The Hotchkiss are fairly decent as well, so I think he's going to be okay in the AA stakes. And he's up against the Jaeger. So he's got to kind of do the job in the air stakes. Some post-editing magic, and you've got the WW2 deck up on screen now. He is playing the 28th Jaeger Maverick income, so both players on Maverick income. And in terms of his Air Force, we've got some Focke-Wulf F8s and some Focke-Wulf F8 R1s, as well as some HS129B3s. Not that many Focke-Wulfs overall. 8 Focke-Wulfs. I've seen more, but then again, in 1v1, 8 Focke-Wulfs isn't exactly kind of small amount. He has chosen to up vet his Focke-Wulf 190A1s to 1-star veterancy. We'll have to see how that plays out, but I'm kind of surprised by that because Blindata don't really have that strong aircraft. So I don't really see the need to upgrade that. I think he's probably done it for some extra... Yeah, I'm not sure why he's done that, if I'm honest. I think he should have just taken them at unvetted value and got an extra one, but that's just me. WW2 certainly a much better player than I am, so maybe he's right and I'm wrong. 102 units of infantry, and look at those 20-point Jaeger squads to start us off. He's also got some more 20-point Jaegers in B and C phase, so it's going to be 20-point infantry units all day long, and I think that's what both players are looking to kind of leverage in their respective decks. Just a ton of infantry, as many as possible out. Both playing Maverick income, so just trying to get as much infantry out, influence that kind of infantry fight between the two players, suppress the enemy side, and then push for the victory. I guess that's going to be the game plan. Both sides, I think, have Stugs, but WW2, I think, is up-vetting his to 2 stars, and I don't think Nilla has up-vetted his. No, he has up-vetted his Stugs to 2 stars as well, but Nilla only has 1 card with 3 of those Stugs. It has some Panzer IVs as well that can do the job, so the Stugs aren't out of the woods, but WW2 kind of has, I would say, the better tanks overall. Not to say, though, that the Panzer IVs can't defeat Stugs quite easily either, so it is kind of swings and roundabouts in that respect. But at the same time, Nilla does have the Recita 75mm in B phase, and that anti-tank gun is very, very strong. and we will get things underway. So, as a recap, on the left-hand side of the map, we have Nilla playing the first Blindata Romanian mare on Maverick Income. And on the right-hand side of the map, in blue, we have Quadriu playing the 28th Jaeger, also on Maverick Income. Quadriu starts off with an off-map plane. Nilla starting off with a BF110 F4. And quite surprising for both players, although I haven't seen the course of all of these final matches. I think Nilla has now seen Quadriu's off-map plane. Quadriu clearly going for the southern town, but Nilla's going to come in and swipe that one down with the BF110 F4. You don't see many BF110s. Down it goes. And what a fantastic aircraft the BF110 actually is. A real, just great aircraft. I get to fly a little bit when I play IO2. And it is just an amazing aircraft. So, Quadriu's off-map plane has been shot down, and his actual off-map doesn't look like it's going to be that effective, to be honest. Just one lieutenant in there. I'm not sure if that's the actual abbreviation there. But the leader, will it go down in this off-map? He's pinned down. Quadriu pushes forward to try and pick up part of the flag. The AB Horch is being a little bit of a pesky armoured car at the moment. Man, that Vanatori Moto hasn't even lost a life in this off-map. And I feel like the more important side... Oh, and here comes the reinforcements from Nilla. All those 20-point reinforcement squads. Hot-footing it into battle in the south. And... yeah, pretty ineffective start from Quadriu. Definitely not going to be what he wants. But the Pack 184 does take a nice swipe at a squad of Vanatori Moto. Will the 110 come in against it? I think it's going after this 184. Yes, it is. Ooh, lost a lot of men there. Fully pinned back. While that's happening, let's look over at the northern side. Nilla got a heavy squad in here. Looks like the Stu 42 has taken up positions, but I don't think there's been too much fighting. And look at this Jaeger back here from Quadriu. He's like really defensive up north. I know he's swung a lot down south when he was banking on that off map, but really really defensive, down south with his placements of that Pack 184 and the Jaeger, and even this one behind the hill, just so anything on the front of the hill can't fire in it. Usually this hill makes up such an important part of this map, because if the blue player can get on the edge of this hill, it's basically game over. The red player can't get his reinforcements back, and similarly for the red player, if they can get on this hill, they certainly strangle off this reinforcement route, but the blue player can sort of come across. So these hills are very important, which is why it's kind of surprising Quadriu's decided to concentrate down into the town. When the game first started off, this kind of gameplay is what you'd expect. A blue player playing Jaeger to heavily concentrate on this southern town, but as the game's much older now, at least I think it's at least 2 years old, players have kind of evolved on this map to concentrate more on the northern side. Even if you're an heavy infantry division that happily fights in cities, the northern side is just much more important. And look at Nilla bringing down his AB Horchers. I think they've come all the way down from the north, or perhaps from the center ground down to this southern side. I would say Nilla is the king of cheap units. At least that's how it feels for me. I think it's his micro that really does it. He just excels at having more stuff on the battleground, and that tends to mean he uses cheaper units. Here we go, Focke-Wulf 190A8 going to chase the BF110 F4, try and get rid of that pesky fly in the sky. But Nilla manages to outturn it, and Quadriu's going to have to come around again. We do have an F337 on the field. The Focke-Wulf 190 F8 is coming in to try and hit the bombs on that Vanatori Moto. Nilla looks like he's got the upper hand up here on the northern side. He's going to probe into this central forest with those Panzer Grenadiers, and Quadriu's not looking fantastic up north right now. Focke-Wulf 190A8 backs off, and the 110 is still alive for now. Back down to the southern side. The AB horse still roaming around, although one of them has gone down. I think at least 2 of those AB horses have gone down because Nilla redirected 2 down south. We have an IAR-81M onto the battlefield. I imagine it's going to strike that Pack 184. No, he's going in for the Sturmjäger. So Nilla's definitely scared of these Sturmjägers. They do have the... I think it's the full squad of MP7s. That's the wrong wording. MP44s, yeah. The squad of 7 MP44s. They're definitely much more painful to deal with than the 7 MP40s that the Jaegers have. So that's why Nilla is concentrating on getting rid of these Sturmjägers. They are more expensive as well. So if you do get rid of them, they are more impactful. Especially if you're bringing cheap units yourself. So the Panzer Grenadiers sneak up and take this northern flag, 1410. AB Horse goes down to the Panzerjäger there. Good work from WW2. 60mm mortar looking to play against that Pack 184. It does have HE shells, so it has been effective. Another AB Horse going down to the Panzerjäger down south. So slowly those AB horses are going down, but at 30 points apiece. It's not exactly too painful for Nilla, especially when he takes out a Jaeger Fusilier, which is exactly the same price. 25 points. So that AB horse has pretty much paid for itself with that single kill. So even though it does go down to the Pack 184, Nilla will be fine with that result. We have a Stug 3G coming in here now, and a couple of 60mm mortars, and another AB horse from Nilla. So the Stug 3G will be a little bit of a pain for Nilla to deal with. He doesn't actually have anything that can deal with that Stug 3G. He does have a JU-87 in the air tabs, and I reckon he's going to use it because I think he's got control of the skies. He's certainly got it up north anyway. I wouldn't say he's got it down south, to be fair. There's no real AA down there, but he does have a... Look at this. The planes are just ferrying back and forth right now. Just unbelievable. IAR-81M heading into the battle as well. Can you remember I mentioned at the start of the game, these guys are just so cheap that they really are just too effective in my book. And the 60mm mortars start to get into the action. What are they going to hit? Just the general area, I think. Look at those 60mm mortars just pouring down. The pressure on top of the Jaegers. A lot of suppression, even though they're 2 stars. And I think if they were singles, the mortars would have been fully suppressing them. Jaeger Pioneer Führer behind is keeping them alive for now. So props to WW2 for having those Führers in place. But when they're suppressed, they don't fire back. Oh, now the Pioneer Führer is taking the damage. To the face. And, yeah, WW2 having to back off now. 3-star Sturmjägers getting involved. Will that do a decent amount of damage? Doesn't look like it's doing some. It's chunking some damage off. But there's just too many Vanatori Moto squads for a single Sturmjäger to defeat, and it does go down there. The Stug 3G isn't really getting into the action, which is a little bit disappointing because, I mean, WW2 doesn't know, but look at the limited sight range it's got. He could just barrel this down the road and nothing can really defeat that. So he does have an advantage with that unit, but he's not using it effectively. Nilla's started to push into that central forest. Pioneer assault units, along with Panzergrens, leading the charge with smoke poured in from the 60mm mortar, just to help them out. But it does look like WW2's having a nicer time up on this northern now, and if he can gain back control, don't know what the JU-87... Is the JU-87 just going in to suppress the infantry? This is just a strange use of that JU-87. It is. Nilla's just looking for the surrenders, and in my opinion, that's just gaming the system. Which Nilla's fully entitled to do, but yeah, just not what you want to see, really, is it? IAR-81M, gonna do it the proper way. High explosive damage. And down goes the Panzerjäger. That's what I want to see. HE to the face. Not these pesky anti-personnel cluster mines to suppress infantry. What is that all about? What is that SU? It's firing on the Jaeger. For some reason, it looked like it was firing almost like an indirect weapon. Oh, the IAR! Almost on the back of that Focke-Wulf. I don't think, yeah, Nilla did notice. Dropped his payload. Will he be able to kill this Focke-Wulf? No AA here. Oh, Nilla calling it. Oh, my God, that nearly went down. He should have, I'm sure he should have chased that. That would have been a tasty kill. IAR 81M is only 85 points. Taking down a Focke-Wulf would have been a huge blow. Stug still not... Oh, it is on the road now, but it could still be more aggressive. But that is going to really hurt Nilla's ability to reinforce. And WW2 is finally making a fight back in the south. He's got Nilla on the rocks down here. Just those 60mm mortars, but they are now out of shells. And a full load of Venatori Moto, though. Remember, these are 20-point infantry squads, so... Yeah, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120 points there, just coming in and just fully reinforcing this whole area. But WW2 does have the flag, relieve some pressure. 14-10 to Nilla. He does kind of sneak this flag here with the sneaky Venatori Moto. But look at this, nothing here for Nilla. Nothing behind this central attack. So if WW2 is able to mount some kind of counter-attack, then Nilla is incredibly exposed. 13-11 to Nilla. 22 minutes left on the clock. Can WW2 mount the comeback? That is certainly the question. And I feel like he's just a little bit not aggressive enough with that Stug 3G. Good choice of the Jaeger MG42 though, just to sit in this building, secure that flag, and also really good long distance anti-infantry weapon. WW2 has fully secured this northern flag, but he's just unable to get a static defense in there. Nilla's kind of just been able to force him back time and time again. And now Nilla bringing in the Venatori Moto 20-point infantry to reinforce. JU87 has managed to spot the Stug 3G, and that's what you need to use your JU87s for, or that's what they should be used for. That's what they are intended to be used for. And will it be an intended kill? No, it won't. The Stug 3G does back off in time. Good awareness from WW2 to spot that incoming JU87 and get that Stug out of there in time. They're the kind of fights I prefer to see in this game. Stug 3G does... Stug 3G? What am I saying? Sturmjägers combine to suppress the Pioneer assaults. Nilla pulling them back. And they are crawling, trying to get down that hill, but they don't manage it. And WW2's done a really good job to get back this central hill. He's secured the south, kind of, or he's secured some flags. I think actually he's lost the flag again in the south. Let's just check back. Yeah, he has lost the flag again in that south, so those Venatori Moto reinforcements really hurt him. And the reinforced or resupplied 60mm mortars, again, just pain. Just pain. Pure pain down here for WW2. And no real kind of, you know, indirect fire support from WW2, whereas Nilla's got both of those 60mm mortars. And he does now have a Panzer 4H that can fight against the Stug 3G. You would say the Stug definitely has the advantage at long range, but that Panzer 4H can still do enough damage. BF 110 still hanging around in the skies. The Flak 43 is in here now, but that BF, I think it is a pretty... it's a medium resilience plane, so it's not exactly going to go down easily to that single 37mm. I think... ooh, but the Focke-Wulf 190 coming from the south will do the job. Oh, sneaky little southern kill there. Love it. What a lovely little kill. Down goes that BF 110. And I think finally Quadryu can breathe a sigh of relief, but it's going to be short-lived because look at this push from the Venatori Moto, along with the leader there in the horse, some Takam T60s, and more coming in there with a resupply truck for the double 60mm mortar. And yeah, Nilla is just overwhelming this northern side with numbers right now. He doesn't care, he's just pushing full on down the road in the face of a 43mm anti-air gun. Oh, that Pack 38 is not going to last long, no. Ouch, and that's a pretty expensive unit to lose there as well. 45 points. I wonder if... no, actually it survives. It actually survives, but it will go down now to the resupplying Venatori Moto. I've got a plane in the skies, a Focke-Wulf 190A8, but yeah, I mean, look at the map now. In comes a Ju-87 D5, and is that a game that's being used to suppress infantry? I mean, yeah, that's not going to win any love from me at all in any shape or form. I just dislike seeing that. Yeah, I'm not going to mince my words. That's not intended, and yeah, it's just gaming the system, and that's what you've got to do in Division 1 to win. You've got to use every advantage that you can gain, because it is a very tough, level of play. It is very tight, and that Panzerfaust is just out of range from the SPW. Bit of a shame there for Nilla. It looks like it's in range, but yeah, I mean, is that on the edge of range. But yeah, in Division 1, you've just got to use every advantage that you can get hold of. So, Nilla using the advantage of the quick reload speeds on those Ju-87s to, use them to suppress infantry. Which, in my opinion, is, yeah, it's not great. But his 60mm mortars suppressing infantry, that is what they are intended to be used. IAR goes down there, I think that was, to the 37mm. So you can see how weak those IARs are if the enemy is able to get up a flak defense. I think actually Quadryu's done okay to react to the numbers that have been poured in on this northern side. I felt like a moment ago he was just going to get fully overwhelmed. There are quite a lot up here in this forest, and he only has a couple of units of infantry to defend, but definitely not as bad as what it looked like a moment ago. But Nilla has got the 16-8. He's taken both of these flags in that central town. He's taken the two center flags here. Yeah, he is looking strong for the win right now. 16-8. Here comes the Ju-87 strike. Misses the Stug 3G, but continuing to force Quadryu back. Focke-Wulf 190A8 picks up a nice kill there. The two Hotchkisses are too far back to really threaten that Focke-Wulf. And Quadryu, I think, is not quite out of it, but he almost is out of it. Takam T60 going down there to a 37mm. Those guys only have 25 points of frontal armor, and the side armor is only 15mm thick. So yeah, not surprising a 37mm firing that fast can do that much damage. Stug 3G does miss the first shot. Kills the Takam T60 on the second shot though. And will Quadryu be able to sustain or push back in this northern side? Because he really does need to push back now. Nilla has nothing behind, so if he can make some kind of breakthrough, this game can swing. More so in the north than the south. I mean, Nilla is like fully on it in the south right now. So Quadryu's really going to be struggling. He is bringing the off-map in, which might give him some more time, but I don't even know whether it's going to get there. Nilla might be able to push out to destroy that off-map before it gets there. And I think Quadryu might need to use an emergency off-map as well, because he is under just so much pressure down south. He might be able to swing it with this off-map. I think this off-map is probably one of his last hopes to hold this game. Nilla again concentrating in the north with all of his units coming in there. Here comes the off-map. It's placed down 30 seconds to strike, but it is in a tough place. I mean, Nilla could snipe that if Quadryu's not careful. Sharpshoots opens fire. The AB Hawk will be able to get into distance. and destroy those sharpshoots. Slowing Nilla down for now. I think the off-map will definitely hurt this advance. But at the same time, can Quadriu, you know, hold on elsewhere? He's now being pushed again in the north after a brief breather. The Stuck 3G is going to be okay to kind of hold this northern side. I think he's pushing it out again to try and contest against this ridgeline. Pockwolf's trying to take care of the MG34s there, doesn't get the kill. Off-map coming down now, and Quadriu's just pushing straight into it with his own units. Does pick up the surrender there. Can he get some more? I think he was a bit fortunate, to be fair. Does lose a unit in the transport there. I'm not sure whether that was to the mortars or to the off-map. Oh, does pick up some more surrenders. Yes, he does. And pulls back the flag, and will he get some more? SDK says 7-1. I don't think the Sturmjägers, they do have a grenade. So yeah, but Nilla notices him, backs away. That SDK said 7-1. And Nilla's pushing the south has been countered with that single off-map strike, but it did go down. The off-map did go down. I said it could get sniped, and it did get sniped. Unfortunately, I didn't see what did it, but there were a couple of Panzer 4Hs in there. They have gone down as well. And Nilla still has the 59 though, thanks to his pushes in the north. The Stuck 3G should be able to perhaps even surrender these pioneers, bring back a flag, and at least extend some time for Quadriu. But Nilla definitely still has the upper hand, but he doesn't have much behind him. Like, if Quadriu can get through a few units, at least in the northern side, he can turn the game around. It's just going to be really tough for him. There are still plenty of units in his way, but it's hard to say that he's out of this at the moment. He's got 6 minutes. He has pulled back the 14-10. He's got 6 minutes left on the clock. I think he can still do it. He just needs to trade incredibly well to do it. But if there's anyone that can trade incredibly well, it's going to be a Division 1 player. It's going to be a player like Quadriu. We know he's an exceptional player at this game. Same as Nilla, same as all of the guys in Division 1. He did beat Gonzo in the semi-finals, so we know he can do it. Nilla has a tidy force up here on this northern side, but if Quadriu can destroy it, then he's not out of the game. So let's see, let's hope that Quadriu can come back into this and make this a real interesting end to perhaps the final game on my channel. Let's see if Quadriu can be the hero that we need. The Jaeger hops into the church tower, but immediately getting suppressed from all directions. Stuck 3G finally being more aggressive. Look at this Focke-Wulf taking huge amounts of damage from the AA that's been developed. And look how aggressive this Stug is going to be now. Takes down the SPW. Man, if Quadriu could harness that Stuck 3G, he could pick up just so many kills, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's there. And, you know, to be fair to him, why would he know unless he was cheating? But none of these players do cheat. Perhaps they are exploitative of what you can do in the meta, but certainly not cheaters. I think Karma might have something to say about that. The Jaeger's getting pinned down. But there are still enough here to ensure that they don't surrender. And Quadriu pushing forwards, picking up a surrender there, but there is still an SPW on the ground. The Stuck 3G not really in the action. Couple of surrenders. Quadriu's got a chance. He's got an opportunity. But can he do it? I just think there's just so many reinforcements coming in. And Quadriu's Jaegers are really in a bad spot here. They've had to unload really far back. In fact, it looks like they've been under serious pressure, perhaps from the skies. Panzer 4H looks like it's going to go down to a close-range Jaeger Panzerschreck, and Nilla's just trying to finish this game off. He's 16-8 up right now. This Fanatoni Moto has been able to sneak behind and sneak this flag, but then the Jaegers here are extending the front line and being able to cut that flag off. 59, 1 minute left on the clock. Looks like it might be a fairly close finish. Close in the sense that although Nilla is well ahead, it does look like Quadriu is making some kind of pushback. Oh, the Fanatoni decay! Will they get him with the Panzerschreck kill onto the Stuck 3G? That Stuck 3G has been able to press the attack for so long in this game, and finally WW2 launches the attack button forward. The Q move forwards, but the Vanatori Dakia sniped that Stuck 3 with the Panzer Shrek, and Nilla, I think, might have secured this game now. 25 seconds left on the clock. WW2 is in full retreat with his Jaegers. He no longer has that Stuck 3G to support him. And the skies are against him. The ground is against him. Wherever he looks, he sees Romanians. And WW2 can't make it a win. Nilla does pick up the win, 15-9. 25 minutes, 29 seconds, and Nilla is crowned Division 1 champion for Season 6. So congratulations to Nilla, commiserations to WW2. Apparently he did have an injured arm. That's what it says there. It says injured arm. So he was injured. And look at that. Look at the trades. That's a really good trade value for this game. And it shows how tight this game really was. Although Nilla was like way up in tickets, I constantly was saying like there's nothing behind him. And that's how Nilla plays. It is a really aggressive play style, and it's a really kind of balls to the wall, you know, everything on the front line. But that's what the job is there to do. You know, your job is to have fighting units, apart from like your AA and your mortars, which are going to be behind your line, but there's no point in having infantry doing nothing sat behind your line. And that Nilla always does this, and he's really great at doing it. He has his frontline fighting units on the front line. It does expose him to, you know, intense counterattacks where, you know, things can swing. And I think that's what the trade difference here is that's what it's indicating. It's showing that although, you know, WW2 heavily lost this game in terms of flags and map control, he did kill, you know, as much stuff as Nilla killed. It wasn't though Nilla out-traded WW2 and that was the reason that he won. Nilla won because he attacked the ground and he took the flags. And that's what you need to do to win. You need to take flags. You need to take the ground. And Nilla did that, and he did win. And congratulations to him. He is crowned Division 1 champion. Very deservedly so. Nilla, a great player. I can't remember whether he's won Steel Division League before. I think he hasn't. I think that's his first time winning Steel Division League. So congratulations to him. And I believe WW2 was in the finals the previous season. And he was obviously in the finals this season, but unfortunately hasn't won a Steel Division League Division 1 championship. But he is still a relatively new player in terms of Division 1. I think this is only his second season in Division 1. Might be his third, but Nilla's been around since the start and WW2's not. So, you know, full props to WW2 as well. He did come in fairly late to Steel Division 2 as far as I'm aware, or certainly competitively anyway, and he has swiped the board with his victories. So both players really good players. Look at the kill list for Nilla, the BF110 F4. It was really good to see this unit in action because I don't think I've really cast it much in my entire casting life. And Nilla used it really effectively. He countered the off-map early, which was probably quite a good move on Nilla's part, because if that off-map would have got a second strike down, that could really have hurt Nilla in that southern town. The off-map just really stunted WW2's start down there in the south, and the BF110 just stuck around for such a long time. So props to Nilla for using that BF1010 and showing how it's done. 2-star Panzergren here really did kill a lot of those Jaeger units. I'm sure Nilla will be pretty proud of that unit. Do we have any other stars of the show? We're unlikely to have any serious kill lists due to the fact that both of these players kind of traded equally. The Vanatori Moto, I mean, 20-point units. Yeah. I mean, I think one thing I didn't talk about earlier when I talked about this being the last match that I'm going to cast is I don't agree the direction this game has taken. And especially in the last the last few patches has just made it worse for me. I felt like after the range changes, this game was on the way back. And then yeah, the game right now is just not a game that I enjoy. So that has, you know, that is a reason why I'm not motivated to play. I'm not enjoying the balance of the game or the game right now. And just watching this game, just watching this cast, you know, this game being played, I haven't cast for the last 3-4 weeks. I mean, this game was played about 3-4 weeks ago, though. Maybe even longer. But it doesn't make me want to come back to playing it, having watched it. 60mm mortars, I mean, very effective in stressing units out and also picking up some of those Sturmjäger kills as well. Another BF-110 came in. Oh, it was the BF-110 that sniped the off-map. Oh, the BF-110 snipes. Both off-maps going down. Man alive, those BF-110 snipes. Oh, almost a meme. Great. No, fantastic use from those BF-110s. Got to hand it to Nilla. Really did use those BF-110s effectively. And that 210mm could have, that could have swung things. You saw that singular off-map did swing things for Quadriu. It got him back into the game at the very late stages, like 5 minutes left. It gave him that inkling of a chance, but unfortunately Quadri wasn't able to use the second barrage of that 210mm. Let's have a look at the kills for Quadriu. The Focke-Wulf 190 F8 really doing the damage on Nilla. I guess the reason he up-vetted that A8 was that he wasn't going to use all of those planes, given that he had the F8s and the other, I think there was 2 lots of F8s with different payloads. The A8s, I mean, probably wasn't going to bring 3 of them out, so that was probably why he up-vetted to 1 star. Oh yeah, of course. F8R1, that was the other F8 variant. Yeah, I mean, the Flak 37mm, actually, that, you know, did take out the I8Rs and the T60 there, so Herb definitely got a few saucy little kills there. Fritzman killing off the 2 Ju-87 D5s. Will have kept his infantry safe from those D5s. Look at Jobst with this Jaeger squad. Man, that got a lot of kills there as well. And there we have it. I think that's it. So, the final cast on my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for the all the memories, all those comments. I've read pretty much every single comment that's ever been left on my channel. So if you left me a comment, good or bad, I've probably read it. If it was bad, I've probably just like hidden the comment or something. I don't know. If it was good, I've probably replied or thumbs up. So thanks for all those comments, for all the memories, but I am going to leave it, really. After this game, I don't expect to be back casting a game. I hope you all enjoy Steel Division 2. I am pretty much saying farewell to the game now. I don't really expect to be back again. And I guess I'm saying farewell to all of you as well. If Eugene release a new game, depending on what that game is, I might be back on this channel. I will end with saying thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoy Steel Division 2. And you might catch a future video one day. Who knows?